I don't know if you came across one of my videos. I've been fervently talking about the Lethwei rule set. So please tell us what the rule set LFC is gonna run with. We did have WLC, which I sometimes refer to as global Lethwei rules. I mean, it was the only rule set that we had right in the global scene. So, what do the rule sets look like for LFC?
Okay, the rule set is largely unchanged. There's not much difference between the challenge fight, the Lethwei challenge rule sets, the traditional. But
The
here's the
tournament
thing:
ones.
the challenge one, is it called? There's four rule sets, isn't there? I think the challenge one, that's the one with. Anyway, I'll explain. So the only
No.
difference, okay, the only difference is that we have to remove the 2 minute revival rule. There's nothing I can do about that. If you want this sport to go global, then that has to go. And the only reason is because in the West, they've got scientific research on concussion rates, and they say if someone gets knocked out in a fight, they're not allowed to go back into the ring for at least 30 days. So if you want me to go to the US and say we want to put people back into a fight within 2 minutes, they're never going to sanction it. They'll never let broadcasts or sponsorships get anywhere near it. We're never going to move. It's dead before we even start. So the 2 minute revival rule has to come out. The headbutt stay, everything else is the same. The only one other thing as well is that we are going to be incorporating a scoring system, but the scoring system is going to be very advanced. We've actually got a very high-tech company in Singapore developing a scoring system that's powered by AI specifically for Lethwei. So what it will do is it will accumulate punch stats. So where the punches landed, what was significant, how many were landed, so that referees that sit ringside will get that information after each round so they can focus purely on what's important in Lethwei, which is impact. We want to see hard shots land. We want to see knockouts. If it doesn't go to a knockout, obviously we need a scoring system in the West because there's many reasons we need to have that. So the only two changes is there'll be no 2 minute revival rule, and we're going to be incorporating a scoring system. But the scoring system is designed to keep the essence of Lethwei, which is the high impact, looking for the knockout. Also, we'll keep the knockout. We'll keep people inspired to knock out by big bonuses. We'll pay people for knockouts. So we're trying to keep the essence of Lethwei, but they're the two rule changes. There is a slight adjustment as well to the ring times, round time. So currently it's 5 minute rounds. 3 minute rounds, 5 rounds, right? Yeah. So we're going to reduce that. We're going to do 2 minute rounds, 1 minute rest. 2 minute rounds, 1 minute rest. 5 rounds, 2 minutes. Now, the reason for that is we haven't got the budget of like one championship. So we can't pay big money to our fighters yet. So I don't want to keep them in there taking more damage than is necessary. Also, I insure the fighters out of my own pocket. So every fighter that fights on my show, we pay for their medical fees after. So I want to try and keep that. I want to keep them expenses down and prevent fighters from suffering too much damage. But the main reason as well is that what we found with BKFC is 5 rounds, 2 minutes. It keeps the fight really fast, high impact. And this is what the crowd's really liking. So we're going to follow the format, 5 rounds, 2 minutes per round, 1 minute rest, because Western audience don't want to sit there for 2 minutes waiting for the fight to start again. They want to see fight, next, fight. So we're speeding up. Other than that, everything's the same. We're not taking anything out. It's all going to be very similar.
Oh, cool. Is it going to be 5 rounds for every fight, or is 5 rounds only going to be for the championship fight?
Right. Every fight's going to be 5 rounds. If it's for a title and they get to the end of the 5th and it's a draw, then they'll do another round because we have to have a winner for a title fight. But other than that, they'll all be 5 rounds.
A quick follow-up with that. So basically, the scoring system is going to be kind of like the combo box in boxing, right? Combo box in boxing.
10-point must. Yeah.
Right. I mean, combo box. Combo box is the punch. It counts the punch stats.
Oh, sorry. I'm not aware of that. Yeah. Sorry.
Combo box. It's been in use for quite some time, I believe. Right. So if we're going to use AI scoring system, is it going to be able to collect, accumulate all the data and give the result within 1 minute after the fifth round.
Within a second.
So sorry, I think okay. So
Within 1 second.
after,
On a screen.
whoa.
So
Oh,
what we're going to have is we're going to have three judges sitting like they would in any normal boxing match, but they don't have to count strikes. All they got to do is watch impact, see who's more dominant, who's more aggressive, who's trying to win the fight, because that's what we care about.
Okay.
So after every round, within 1 second, the only thing AI is going to do is count the punches, count the stats, and give them a very simple to see result of breakdown of stats on a screen. So they can literally go, right, that guy won, but they can just double check to make sure that, because it will show it significant strikes as well. But the AI is only going to compile that into a very quick report and share it, because we're actually going to have a whole separate team actually counting the punches and then feeding that into the system. So the system's only going to compile the data so the judges can see it, if that makes sense.
Oh, so so we're gonna have the manual counters as well, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have judges.
Manual.
Yeah, we'll have judges. We'll have people that count the strikes, and then we'll have the AI that provides the report in 1 second. So as soon as the bell goes, they look, it'll already be there.
So that's amazing. That's amazing. So are we gonna? So that makes me think if we're gonna insert some chips in the fighters or the gloves, how is it gonna be done?
Right. So I'll tell you. So the judge is only going to focus on the three main judging criteria, which is impact or cumulative damage, aggression, and ring control. Okay. So then what we have is we have another team that will be watching on videos. They won't be in the arena. They'll be outside. They'll be watching on the screen in different angles, and they'll be counting punches. So if you throw a kick, they'll count it. You throw a punch, they'll count it. You throw an elbow, they'll count it. And then they'll say whether it's a significant punch or not. So we've got a whole team of people going to be counting those punches. Now, we've tested this over many, many martial arts, MMA, Muay Thai, boxing, and they're like 98% accuracy rates coming through on these counts. So that's way better than a judge that's looking at all the judging criteria as well as trying to count strikes at the same time. So it's way, way, way more effective. We will also have a referee. What the referee can, if it's a foul, look back on a video to check what happened. So we make sure it's as fair as it can possibly be.
That's amazing. That's something that we badly need in Lethwei. I mean, in the traditional ones so far, sometimes it can get very, very wild.
Yeah.
With illegal punches, sometimes thrown in the back of the head, kicking in the nuts. Sometimes I'm talking about the traditional ones. Recently I made a troll video of the traditional referees, counting too long for a knockdown. Sometimes it's like 15 seconds, sometimes 20 seconds. It's crazy.
Okay. Well,
so we're not gonna have any of those, loose countings, right?
That we're operating on international standards, like the highest standards in the world for combat sports, from safety protocols to refereeing, judging, the very, very high standards in the world.